Gulf Stream in circular pools. There's 99 cents worth of drunkards. Fool.
It is a Saturday evening, and you are settled into your favorite chair with a cup of coffee gone lukewarm in your hand. The television is on low, and an old concert is playing. A singer you have loved for 40 years walks out onto the stage. The lights hit him, the crowd roars, and then he opens his mouth. And something is not quite right. The voice is thinner. The high notes are gone. He is reaching for something that used to come easy, and it is no longer there. You feel a small ache in your chest. Not pity, exactly. Something closer to recognition. And that is the moment the question shifts. It is no longer, can he still hit the notes? It is, should he still be up there trying? There is a difference between a legend and a legacy. And tonight we are going to talk about 10 male singers who, by many accounts, have crossed that line. Folks, I want to be honest with you up front. Most of what you read online about aging rock stars is either cruel mockery or blind worship. Neither one is fair. The truth lives in the middle. A voice is a muscle, and muscles age. That is not an insult. That is biology. The folks at university music programs and longtime vocal coaches have known this for generations. If you want the longer written version of this discussion, with a few extra names I could not fit in, it is in the link in the description. It is free, and I will not bring it up again. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which legendary voices many fans believe have stayed on the road too long, why it happens, and what it tells us about growing older with grace. Today, I will walk you through 10 of them, one at a time, care and respect for what each of these men gave us. Let us start with number 1, Bob Dylan. Now, Bob Dylan was never what you would call a pretty singer. That nasal, broken delivery was part of the charm. But in recent years, folks who have paid to see him live have come away puzzled. The phrasing is mumbled, the melodies rearranged so completely that even the most devoted fans cannot pick out the song until the chorus arrives. He is in his 80s now, and he still tours. Some call it artistic reinvention, others call it something else. Either way, the man who wrote the soundtrack of a generation sounds, to many ears, like he is wrestling with his own catalog.
This is a blind horse that leads you around.
Reviews of his Rough and Rowdy Ways tour in 2021 and 2022 were genuinely divided, with some critics in major publications praising the intimacy and others admitting they spent half the show squinting at the set list trying to identify which song was playing. When a performer rearranges Like a Rolling Stone so thoroughly that the audience cannot find their footing in it, something has shifted in the relationship between the artist and the song.
It's your facts when someone attacks you with agitation.
Number 2, Mick Jagger. Now, Mick is a marvel. The man runs around a stadium stage like he is half his age, and his showmanship is undimmed. But the voice itself, by many accounts, has thinned considerably. The swagger is still there. The strut is still there. But the growl that made Brown Sugar and Gimme Shelter so dangerous has softened into something more theatrical. He's in his 80s, and the Rolling Stones keep rolling. You have to admire it. You also have to wonder.
Was round when Jesus Christ had his moments of doubt and pain.
The Hackney Diamonds Tour in 2024, which was the band's first run of dates following the death of Charlie Watts in 2021, drew enormous crowds and genuine affection, but side-by-side comparisons with footage from the Steel Wheels Tour of 1989 show how much ground the voice has given up in those 35 years. The next one folks often mention is Paul McCartney. And this one hurts to say because Paul gave us some of the most beautiful melodies of the 20th century. But the high harmonies he used to float in songs like Hey Jude or Let It Be are now, in many performances, dropped down or handed off to his band. The voice cracks where it once soared. He's still touring, still smiling, still gracious, and the audiences still cheer. But the man himself has admitted, in interviews over the years, that the instrument is not what it was. His Got Back tour in 2023 saw him performing well into his 80s, And while the spectacle was extraordinary, with screens and pyrotechnics and guest appearances, longtime listeners noticed that songs originally recorded in keys like E and A were quietly shifted down to accommodate what the voice could still reliably deliver.
In a style that shows to one leader now.
Number 4 brings us to Roger Waters.
Hanging on this cross with these feelings of loss.
The voice behind so much of Pink Floyd's emotional weight has, by many accounts, grown rougher and more limited with age. Live performances in recent years have leaned heavily on backing vocalists and arrangement tricks to carry the melodies he once delivered himself.
You're never gonna die, gonna make it if you try. Love.
He is well past the age most folks retire, and he is still out there on long tours. Whether you love his politics or roll your eyes at them, the vocal question is harder to dismiss.
Hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change.
The 5th name on our list is Ozzy Osbourne. Now, Ozzy has been candid about his health struggles, more candid than most stars ever are. Years of hard living, a Parkinson's diagnosis, spinal surgeries, and the ordinary wear of being in his mid-70s have all taken their toll. His farewell performances have been emotional and, to be honest, difficult to watch at times. The Prince of Darkness, leaning on a chair or a throne, voice shaking. There is something noble in still showing up. There is also something that makes you want to gently suggest he has earned his rest. His final show at the Back to the Beginning concert in Birmingham in the summer of 2025 drew enormous emotional response from fans around the world. And Ozzy himself said it was the hardest thing he had ever done, not musically, but physically. The man could barely stand. That image stays with you. Number 6 is Rod Stewart.
I had nothing to do on this hot afternoon to settle down and write you a lie.
That gravelly sandpaper voice was always part of his identity, but gravel can wear down to dust. In recent tours, folks have noted that Rod often shortens songs, drops keys, and lets his backing singers carry the heavy lifting. He has had throat troubles over the years, including a thyroid cancer scare, and the recovery from that kind of thing is not a straight line.
Here's the star in the sky, don't mean nothing to you.
He is in his late 70s. He still performs in Las Vegas residencies and around the world. The showman in him will not quit, even as the instrument complains.
You grow to be proud, dignified and true.
The 7th singer is Brian Johnson of AC/DC.
Hear the siren scream, it sounds so lean on me. You left it shaking down.
Now, Brian had to step away from touring a few years back because of serious hearing problems, and he later returned with new in-ear technology. That is a genuine triumph. But the screaming high register that defined songs like Back in Black is a young man's game, and Brian is now in his 70s. Recent tours have seen him reaching for notes that, by many accounts, simply are not landing the way they used to.
Time on the seduction line. She was one of a kind, she's just mine.
The spirit is willing. The vocal cords are tired. The Power Up Tour in 2024 sold out arenas across Europe and North America, and the band still moved crowds to genuine frenzy. But audio from multiple nights circulating online showed Brian pushing into the upper register of Shoot to Thrill and Highway to Hell, and coming up short in ways that would have been unthinkable in 1980. Number 8 is Neil Young. Neil's voice was always reedy and high and unusual, almost like an instrument tuned to its own scale. That sound has not so much faded as frayed. In recent live performances, folks have reported that the pitch wanders, the phrasing loses its grip, and the songs that once felt fragile and beautiful now feel simply fragile. He is in his late 70s, still releasing music, still touring when he feels like it. There is a real argument that the rawness is the point. There is also a real argument that some songs deserve to be remembered the way they were recorded. Number 9 takes us to Roger Daltrey of The Who.
I need to fight to prove I'm right.
Roger has been remarkably honest about this himself, telling interviewers that touring at his age is brutal on the voice, and that he sometimes wonders how much longer he can keep doing it. The scream at the end of Won't Get Fooled Again is one of the most famous moments in rock history, and it is a sound that demands a young throat. He is in his early 80s now, and he and Pete Townshend keep going out on the road. The performances are heartfelt. They are also, by many accounts, a shadow of what they once were.
Took the tube back out of town. I went back to the rolling pin.
In a 2019 interview with The Guardian, Roger said plainly that he tells Pete before every tour that it might be the last one, that he simply does not know what his voice will do from night to night anymore. That kind of honesty is rare, and it deserves to be acknowledged. And the 10th and final name on our list is Elton John. Now, Elton officially wrapped up his farewell tour, and good for him for knowing when to stop. But the years leading up to that goodbye were difficult ones for his voice. Decades of touring, surgery on his vocal cords back in the 80s, and the simple arithmetic of age had all caught up. The high register he used so beautifully in Tiny Dancer and Your Song was, for years, simply unreachable. He adjusted, he transposed, he let the piano do more of the talking. And then, with grace, he stepped away. That is how it is done. His final North American show in New York in July of 2022 grossed over $3 million in a single night, and the crowd gave him a standing ovation that lasted several minutes, not because every note was perfect, but because they understood they were saying goodbye. There is a lesson in that moment for every artist on this list.
Science, I don't understand.
Before we wrap up, I want to invite you to do something simple. Subscribe to this channel, and if you have a question or a memory you want to share, leave it in the comments. I read them. I answer when I can. This little community is one of the warmest corners of the internet, and you are welcome here. So what do we take away from all of this? Folks, growing older is not a failure. It is a gift not everyone gets. These men gave us decades of music, and the fact that their voices have changed does not erase a single song on a single record. The recordings are forever. The question is only whether the live show still serves the legacy, or whether it begins to chip away at it. There is no money in telling a legend it is time to come home. The promoters, the agents, the venues, they all keep the wheels turning. So you can be the one who remembers them at their peak, and who treats the late performances with kindness rather than mockery. This week, pull out an old record or an old CD and listen to one of these singers in their prime. This month, if one of them comes through your town, decide with clear eyes whether you want to see the man as he is now or remember him as he was. Both choices are good ones. Next time, I want to talk with you about 10 female singers whose voices have aged beautifully against all the odds. Until then, take care of yourself, be gentle with your heroes, and pour yourself another cup of coffee. The evening is still young.